Welcome to this IELTS Listening Practice Test, brought to you by Spinta, your partner in English exam success. This test simulates the real IELTS listening experience with authentic question types, timing, and difficulty levels you'll encounter on exam day. You'll hear the audio only once, just like in the actual test, so stay focused and keep your pencil ready. Remember to read the questions carefully during the preparation time and transfer your answers accurately. This practice will help you build confidence, improve your listening skills, and familiarize yourself with the IELTS format.
Part 1. Now look at Part 1. You will hear a conversation between a student and a university sports club administrator about joining the club. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Hello, University Sports Club. How can I help you?
Hi, I'm a new student, and I'd like to inquire about joining the club, specifically the football team.
Certainly. Could I take some details first? Your name, please.
Yes, it's Peter Jones, spelled Jones.
Thank you, Peter. And your student ID number?
It's 123,456.
Got it. And your address, please.
I live at 14 King Street, in Newtown. That's Newtown.
Newtown, okay. And a contact number?
Yes, it's 079-1187-6543.
079-118-76543. Great. So you're interested in the football team, you said?
That's right, the football team. I played a lot in high school.
Excellent. The annual membership fee for football is £50. That covers coaching, equipment, and pitch hire.
£50, okay. And when are the practices?
We have practices twice a week. On Tuesdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Tuesdays and Saturdays. Got it. What do I need to bring for practice?
Just your sports shoes and a water bottle. All other equipment is provided.
Okay, that's easy. And when do I need to pay the fee?
The deadline for payment is the end of the month, so that's October 31st.
October 31st. Great. And where is the first practice session held?
All practices are held at the University Sports Complex, specifically Pitch 3.
Pitch 3. Perfect. Thanks so much for your help.
You're welcome, Peter. We look forward to seeing you.
Part 2. Now look at Part 2. You will hear a tour guide giving an orientation talk about the Royal Botanic Gardens. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Welcome everyone to the Royal Botanic Gardens. My name is John and I'll be your guide today. Before we begin our walking tour, I'd like to give you a brief overview and some useful information. Our gardens are not just a beautiful place for a stroll, they are a world-renowned scientific institution. Our main purpose here is to preserve plant species from around the globe, conduct vital research, and educate the public about biodiversity. We believe that by understanding the plant world, we can better protect it. First, I want to highlight a few key areas you won't want to miss. Directly ahead, you'll see the magnificent palm house. This iconic glass house, built in the 19th century, is famous for its incredible collection of plants from tropical rainforests. It truly transports you to another continent. Just beyond that is the serene water lily pond, where you can admire some of the world's most rare aquatic plants, including giant water lilies. It's a truly peaceful spot. And don't forget the Japanese garden, which is a meticulous representation of a traditional Japanese landscape, designed for quiet contemplation. Now let's talk about some other notable areas. For question 15, we have the Alpine House. As the name suggests, this unique conservatory is home to plants from very cold climates, which are adapted to harsh mountain environments. Moving on to question 16. The Temperate House is our largest glass house. It houses an astounding variety of plants from diverse global regions, spanning several continents. You'll find everything from South African cycads to Australian tree ferns here. And finally, for question 17, the Great Pagoda. While it doesn't house plants, it's an incredible architectural feat. It offers panoramic views of the entire gardens and the surrounding city from its upper levels. It's truly a must-see. Before we start our walk, a few quick guidelines. For your safety and to protect the plants, please make sure you stay on the designated paths at all times. Also, photography is encouraged, but please note that the use of tripods is prohibited inside any of our conservatories due to space constraints and to ensure a smooth flow of visitors. Lastly, if you get hungry or thirsty, our cafe near the main entrance offers a variety of snacks and hot drinks to keep you refreshed. We also have a gift shop if you'd like to take a souvenir home. Now, if everyone is ready, let's begin.
Part 3. Now look at Part 3. You will hear two university students, Chloe and Ben, discussing their group assignment with their tutor. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning, Chloe and Ben. Let's discuss your group assignment on the impact of green technology. How are you progressing?
Good morning, Dr. Davies. We've started gathering information, but we're feeling a bit overwhelmed.
Yes, the main topic is the challenges of implementing green technology, and there's just so much information out there. We're struggling to narrow it down. We feel like we have too much information rather than not enough.
I understand. That's a common challenge with broad topics like this. My advice would be to focus on one or two specific case studies. Instead of trying to cover every aspect globally, perhaps pick a couple of industries or regions where green technology implementation has faced particular obstacles. This will make your research more manageable, and your analysis deeper.
That makes sense. We were trying to be too comprehensive.
Exactly. And remember, for your presentation, it's not just about the content, it's about how you deliver it. Engaging the audience with visuals is crucial. Don't just read from your notes. Use charts, graphs, and images to make your points clearer and more memorable.
Right, good point. We'll keep that in mind.
Now, about the division of labor. Have you thought about who will research which aspect?
We've had a preliminary discussion. For the economic implications, I think that would suit Ben's strengths. He's very good with data analysis.
Yes, I'm happy to take on the economic implications. I've already found some interesting reports on investment and return on investment in green energy projects.
Excellent. So, for question 25, Ben will handle the economic implications. What about social acceptance? This involves public perception and community engagement.
I'd like to take on the social acceptance aspect myself. I'm interested in how communities react to new technologies.
Perfect, Chloe. So, for question 26, Chloe for social acceptance. And lastly, policy frameworks, the governmental regulations and incentives. Who will tackle that?
I think that's something we should both contribute to, as it links closely with both economic and social factors.
Agreed. We can both look into the policy frameworks.
All right. So for question 27, both Chloe and Ben will work on policy frameworks. That sounds like a solid plan. Just a few more things about the timeline. The first draft of your report is due in 2 weeks. So that's by the 24th of March.
2 weeks. Okay. We'll aim for that.
And the presentation itself should be approximately 15 minutes long, allowing for a few minutes of questions afterwards.
15 minutes, noted.
And finally, a small but important detail. Remember to prepare a list of references for the audience. It shows the credibility of your sources and allows anyone interested to read further.
References for the audience, we won't forget that.
Great. Any other questions?
No, I think that clarifies a lot for us. Thank you, Dr. Davies.
You're welcome. Keep up the good work.
Part 4. Now look at Part 4. You will hear a lecturer discussing the topic of urban wildlife and its increasing presence in cities. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to explore a fascinating aspect of modern ecology, the increasing presence of wildlife in our urban environments. This phenomenon, often referred to as urban adaptation, or more simply urban wildlife, is a growing area of study. Why are we seeing more animals in our cities? There are several compelling reasons. Firstly, cities often provide an abundant and predictable food supply. Whether it's discarded food waste, bird feeders, or even intentional feeding by humans, the availability of food is a significant draw. Secondly, urban landscapes, with their parks, gardens, and undeveloped plots, offer diverse habitats. Many species, such as foxes, badgers, and even deer, are increasingly found not just on the outskirts, but deep within city parks and residential gardens. These green spaces act as important corridors and refuges. Another factor is the relative absence of natural predators. In the wild, animals face threats from larger carnivores. Cities, while presenting their own dangers, largely lack these natural predators like wolves or bears, creating a safer haven for smaller species. Furthermore, nocturnal animals, in particular, benefit from reduced human activity during the night. The quiet streets become their domain, allowing them to forage and move more freely. However, life in the city is not without its challenges for wildlife. One of the primary dangers, as you might imagine, comes from road traffic. Many animals are injured or killed attempting to cross busy roads. Competition for resources, even with domesticated animals, can also be an issue. Despite these challenges, many species demonstrate remarkable adaptability. Consider the common pigeon, a ubiquitous city dweller. They are an excellent example of animals that are entirely dependent on human food sources and urban structures for nesting. Their success is a testament to their ability to exploit the urban niche. What are the implications of this growing trend? On the positive side, an increase in urban wildlife can foster a greater public appreciation of nature. Seeing a fox or a badger in your garden can remind us of the biodiversity that still exists, even in built-up areas. It can also encourage more interest in local conservation efforts. Of course, there are also potential conflicts. Wildlife can become a nuisance, or in rare cases, a danger. So how do we manage this? One proposed solution for reducing human-wildlife conflict is to implement stricter waste disposal rules. Secure bins and responsible composting can significantly reduce the temptation for animals to enter residential areas. Educating the public on how to coexist safely with wildlife is also critical. Ultimately, the future of urban wildlife depends on our ability to understand and facilitate coexistence. We must recognize that cities are not just for humans, they are increasingly shared spaces, and fostering mutual understanding between people and animals is key to a sustainable urban ecosystem.
And pencils down, you've survived another IELTS listening marathon. If your brain feels like it just ran a mental obstacle course, congratulations. That means you're doing it right. Want to torture yourself with more tests? We mean enhance your skills? Head to Spinta.org. That's Spinta.org. Where we've got reading, writing, speaking practice, and vocabulary games that are actually fun. Yes, fun and IELTS in the same sentence. We're rebels like that. Thanks for listening with Spinta. Now go treat yourself to something nice. You've earned it. Spinta. Push forward. Achieve more.